So I know this is not a video on the Accord and doing the headliner, and that is because we cannot find a fabric we need yet, and also ignore the road traffic noise that's behind us. However, I did mention at the start of the year on a post on social media, I think it was on YouTube, did on Instagram and all of the rest, that there was a car that we would be working on this year that is not our traditional style. A car that needs an entire sill replaced, and since buying it, it has already started to rust. So I'm sure some of you could guess what car it would be, and let's get her demolded and we'll go from there. And in front of the Type R, this is Little Red. The paintwork is faded, there's a big hole, you can't see it because of the car cover, in the side of her, and she is covered in mould. But this car means a lot to us. We've had it since new, and we're spending far too many hours on this car, far too much money on this car to get her back to where she should be. As you can see, beforehand we did do a minor rust repair on the inside, which I think is probably going to have to get redone because we are replacing the entire sill. And the reason is this massive hole that goes underneath the car, goes to the seatbelt rail, etc. So we just have to transport the car. Eventually, when we have more time, we're going to rip out all the interior for summer, give it a jet wash, give it a clean, hopefully the mold stays away. Replace the door rubber on the other side. There is a lot of work that needs doing with this vehicle. And of course, the car hasn't been running so long. This beast of an engine hasn't been running so long. Oh god, yeah, we're gonna have to replace that foam as well because it's all rotten. Oh, that is the tiniest battery in the world. Look at that. I thought this had been disconnected, which it should have been. Apparently not. So we're gonna jump start it.
So Chris has just lost his jump leads, and we're about to go get some new ones, but then we realised that this battery is from the green MR2, this battery is from this car, and it's kind of dodgy, but it will do what we need it to do. So we're going to try it, see if it will work.
Ah, there's a bracket bolted down there, which I imagine is like a 13mm or something.
Yeah.
Bar. I'll do that. 2.2 to 2.3 bar, which is by some miracle, the car has made it to Garaja, and we're just gonna get all the car Jenga going. So now the car is in the garage and we played some car Jenga. What we are now going to do is essentially swap the other battery over while it's running, doing some sketchy shit to jump this battery back to life. So fingers crossed we can do that quick. Never mind, I accidentally forgot I ratcheted down the battery straps, so let's not do that. Now we've just picked up some tools to start working on Little Red, to take apart the interior, and we're about to say goodbye to Misty, who has been with us and was my first car. So sad moment, but we're moving on to other projects at the minute. Misty is now gone, but we're moving on to other projects, and the owner, or the new owner, is going to look after Misty well, I know. So for now, we're moving to the next project, which is Little Red. So just as a bigger background, as I wouldn't have mentioned too much detail about, that is the situation, and underneath her is pretty similar story. So what we need to do in this car is strip the whole of the interior, because that's going to, in the summer, need a clean and refresh, and it needs to be aired so that it doesn't stay mouldy. The sill that is now in the roof needs to go in the car. So this is a new little series we're going to be starting alongside the bumper, the Accord, the MR2, the other MR2, the next car Lex gets, whatever that's going to be.
Honda Prelude.
Gangster car.
What else do I want? What else do I want?
I don't know. Something cool. Something gangster. Sorry.
I'm not going for the gangster BMW. Don't feel like that's my vibe. It's a boy's car. Maybe.
We'll see. But for now, this is going to be our new series. So I'm going to start with stripping the interior, showing that process, and then prepping some of the surface to see really how bad and how far this goes. Thanks to my partner Lex for getting me this amazing, really bright and very good reflection without any of the weird lines on the screen, Makita battery charging thing. So first we're going to get started on the removal of the interior. So I believe the first thing I want to tackle is the seat rails, so then you can get the carpets out. As we can see down here, I've got these torque spit bits, which conveniently I just got.
Wait, hold on.
Hey yo. Which I conveniently just bought down here. So I'm going to find the right size and get ratcheting, or I might use a drill actually to get these ones out. So when taking bits out like that, always make sure you've got the right size. So that's locking in nicely. The size is a T40CR, but I am going to be safe and use some WD-40. Not sponsored, please sponsor us, WD-40, that would be great. Just to get some penetration on there, so hopefully it'll come loose nicely. But seat rails are notorious for being quite tricky. Let me start it off and show you when I'm getting started. And I'm sure it's because of the WD-40, because that is coming out like a dream. And essentially, I've got to repeat the process on the front side here. So that's one bolt there, one bolt on the other side, and then going to figure out how to detach the rear. And just looking at it, surprisingly, considering this car's rusted, that bolt is really nicely not rusted. So I'm going to take the bolt down there for now. After I've got the seat rail off, I'm going to put that bolt back in that hole in the chassis, because we don't want to forget where these bolts go. I don't want to lose bolts, because there's going to be a lot loose while we rip out the entirety of all of this carpeting and interior to demold while we are then doing the rusting. Now, when working on rusty cars, the first thing we need to do is remove all of the interior so that when we're welding, nothing is going to catch on fire. So that is what I'm doing by removing this. No, we're still going to have a fire extinguisher. It's right there, just in case. So just as I suspected, just 2 bolts to follow on the rear as well. And just like that, the seat, I think, is released. Now, I don't think there's... Whoops. Now, I don't believe that there is anything connected to the seat. So, in theory, it'll just come out without any connectors. And then we can move on to the other side. Apparently I'm stupid and there is a cord. I just tried to yank this thing out and didn't work too well. So I'm just going to pinch this cord out. So after struggling with these clips for a while and them looking a little more worse for wear, the seat now should just be quite easy to remove. Now that the 2 seats are out, just as before, I'm re-threading all the hardware back where it should go so that it doesn't get lost during the welding and carpet removal and everything removal really, because we don't want anything to get lost, because that would be a pain. I then have also removed a bolt here to remove this center console, and I'm just going to remove the gear knob, which has been on and off, so that's why it's nice and easy to take off. Sometimes yours might not be, because this has been replaced before. And I've also replaced this gear selector before as well, so that's why everything's quite easy to get to. And then for this, I think I just need to pull the handbrake up and I should be able to get the surround off. Super easy. Oh, and there leaves the handbrake adjustment. So if anyone ever needs to know how to adjust the handbrake on this, it's literally just this bolt. Next, I'm going to look to take off the seatbelt rail. So that is that bolt there, and then start to tackle the rear seats. I've now removed the door trim on this side, taken the door trim again off of that, and now I'm going to take a 14mm to undo the seatbelt rails here and then bolt them back in, because as long as the carpet's pulled away, all we're doing this for is access.
That's powerful, isn't it?
And then the bolt goes back in so that we don't lose it. So the boot wouldn't open, so we had to crawl inside the boot, pop a panel off, and now we're going to just lube up all of this catch system because, well, we're not going to lock the boot again, but that was a bit of a pain. And you can never use enough WD-40 to get you out of a problem. Please sponsor us, WD-40. But next is removal of these rear seats, which I think we have to remove some bolts in the rear and then some bolts under the carpet in a moment. So we've just removed some of the extra padding and foam, and now the C1 boot, which we're just making a C1 parts pile here, really. And then underneath that then reveals the spare tyre and
the jump leads.
Jump leads. I don't think these are the ones that we were on about the other day or this morning, but you're coming home with me. We're going to take these with us because we'll keep losing jump leads apparently. Right, now that is the boat exposed.
The boat? You said the boat.
Part exposed. I think I pull this lever.
You say lever?
And I pull this one. Oh. And push. And push.
There we go.
And now I should be able to undo the 2 bolts on each side easily. So then that's those 2 bolts, which again we're going to just put back, or a bolt and a nut apparently, which we're going to put back in a moment. This is the best angle of me.
You look very sexy, babe.
Alright, that's that one, and then
voila.
The top pops off. Which, to be fair, we can just put on this left side of the car. So
that's fine.
I'm gonna come around and do that.
Okay.
Little hooks at the front here.
So there's small hooks and essentially what is double-sided tape on the bottom of this seat pad, which is crazy really, because I thought they'd be bolted in and stuff, but obviously not.
Too. But this is Citroën we're on about.
Exactly. So. French.
Well, it was a mix between the Japanese and the French.
This specific one, French.
Now, to get these seats out, or the seat pieces were a bit of a pain, and that bit did take a little bit of damage, but essentially after wiggling left and right and then straight up, we've now removed the entirety of the rear, which does need to get aired, but we don't have too much space in the garage, so for now we're going to move on to removing these bolts and side panels next, but we'll do that when we've got some daylight. Right, so we're on day 2. We're going to continue stripping more of Little Red out. However, we've just popped to a certain store nearby to pick up some of these wire brushes to get to the spot weld areas. A fun new, we're going to use it as a spot weld drill.
Yeah, it's like a hole saw, but we couldn't get a spot weld drill out, like extractor, so we're just going to use this. It's only 14mm, so I think it should be fine.
And then also some weld through zinc primer. So this stuff is going to be super useful for it, but that will be shown, all of these fun bits will be shown in the next video, not the one you're looking now. Time to continue stripping the interior, and hopefully we can figure out how to get that bolt out.
Hope so.
Back to where we left off. I'm going to get some light into the car, and good luck to me getting that seatbelt bolt out. Fingers crossed I get it done. So just as where we left, the gyro's fun. So just like where we left off, time to play a game of F around and find out. Is this bolt going to strip or not? We'll soon see. I've got a 14mm impact socket and we're just going to go for it, try and take it off at the highest power, and fingers crossed the bolt comes out, because it's already struggling to come out anyway, and you know, let's see what happens. So unfortunately we've lost the bolt battle. This is going to have to be cut out, drilled out, re-tapped and threaded. However, for now, we're just going to remove more of these plastics up here. So that's just prying them from behind. It's a bit of a painful job though. So hopefully we'll get it done quite quickly, but it's a bit of a struggle at the minute. So it turns out I didn't even need to take that roof bit off, because this whole bottom piece comes off in one go, and at the minute I only need access to get the carpet out. It's a bit of a tedious job. It's a bunch of these pop clips and just prying, so I'll show you when it's all out. So with the rest of the area off, I can now get into the other side of the door card and figure out where this bolt goes in, because we're going to need to extract it, but probably in another video. Now we're not desperate for it. I was going to take the whole carpet out, but that's a bit of an ordeal for now. I just need to figure out the shape of the sill. So obviously we can see through. There is our hole. So essentially, in the next episode, we're going to be sanding the outside down, finding where the spot welds are, and I think figuring out the shape to drill them in and make a patch repair. Or well, put the whole new sill in, hopefully. But we've seen some shape differences, even though it's ordered specifically for this car. So I'm going to mock that up now and we'll go from there, basically. But if you like this video of stripping down this new project of ours, don't forget to have a follow for the project of us welding this on. And if you're interested in just having a conversation about it, leave some comments down below. I'll reply to every single one. So far, with that rounded bolt, this hasn't been too fun. Hopefully it would be easier if you guys were to do this at home. And in the next video, like I said, we'll start the welding process, or stripping the welding process.